I made my way back to Old Trafford to try out a different Manchester United hospitality package, and here's how I got on. And ahead of the evening match versus Chelsea, there was an 8-minute walk to Victoria Warehouse. This means that today's hospitality was off-site, but don't worry, a bit more from inside Old Trafford later on. For 3 hours before the match and 1 hour after the match, we did have access to this hospitality space. Entry was from 5:15 p.m. Made my way through these doors, where I was met by a lovely welcome from the hostesses, who checked my ticket. Then I received a matchday programme. Programme in hand, I then received a matchday hospitality lanyard. Make sure you keep hold of this because you will need it for access after the game. There were a few activities for kids as well, and I got my hands on a pin badge. Now, time for some hospitality inside a warehouse. And it's worth saying this is one of a few hospitality packages at Manchester United. Check out our videos for some of the other ones. Victoria Warehouse is definitely one of the more informal and relaxed options, with an open bar and food stations. A bit more on them shortly. Found an unreserved table, then grabbed a drink, which are inclusive up until 1 hour after the match. All the drinks are included, and so is the food. Today there were 3 choices. I kicked things off with a Monterey Jack cheeseburger, which was pretty good. Then next up, loaded nachos. Generous with the toppings, but not as good as the cheeseburger. Then before trying the third option, it was back to the table where there was some magic from a magician. And whilst the magician made a few cards disappear, I made the big dog disappear. Later on, a few words from a former player.
I played all right, but then I got a good run then. I got about...
And a tip from us, when it comes to dessert, make sure you try the white chocolate blondie. After polishing off a couple of blondies, I then took on Sean at a game of table football. Unfortunately, got demolished 2-1. By this point, it was time to make our way to Old Trafford ahead of the match. We left at around 7:45. A recommendation, give yourself enough time to get to the stadium and make sure you know where you're going. For us, we made our way to N413. E-tickets at the ready. I then scanned it at the turnstiles and made my way through. Then it was up quite a few steps and to the top of the northwest quadrant. Before the match, I made my way to one of the kiosks to buy a hot drink, definitely needed on a cold day in Manchester. Then continued into block 3433 and into the stadium. Staff were on hand to point us in the right direction, and with about 10 minutes to go until kickoff, it was down a few steps and to a padded seat. And Victoria Warehouse hospitality tickets are from €220, depending on the fixture, available through Champions Travel. Did spot Fred the Red, not too sure what he's doing here. Might be celebrating the fact that Man United won 2-1. And a question for you guys, where should we go for the next padded seat?